and welcome to the Slate Culture Gift Guide. I'm Willa Paskin, the host of Decoder Ring, and I'm joined today by Slate's film critic and the host of the Culture Gabfest, Dana Stevens. Hi, Dana.
Hey, Willa.
And Chris Molanphy, the host of Hit Parade. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Willa, how are you?
Chris, can you explain why we're all here like some crossover MCU special spectacular to talk about gifts? What are we doing here?
I like to think of us as a Voltron that have joined forces.
Yes,
but,
sure.
Pick your metaphor. Sure. So with the holiday season upon us, we thought that we would gather to bring you one of the season's most cherished, most solemn traditions, a gift guide. Today, we're going to share with you some of our favorite gifts. Nothing too expensive. We kept it around the $100 mark. So hopefully there's something here for everyone.
Yes, I don't know about the two of you, but I had fun researching these gifts and figuring out what to submit for our little shared list. And I can't wait to hear what you chose. But first, here's a little break for a word from our sponsor. Are you as obsessed with dissecting the latest movies as I am?
Or explaining how hit songs top the charts like I do?
Well, if so, then we've got the perfect gift for you to give anyone else in your life who shares those passions this holiday season. Apple Gift Card.
Apple Gift Card helps fuel all of your pop culture interests. Use it for culture must-haves like streaming subscriptions, album releases, new apps, and more.
Visit applegiftcard.apple.com to learn more and gift one today. All right, back to Slate's Culture Gift Guide 2025. Willa, you have been working in culture journalism for a long time at various different outlets, many of which I know do gift guides. Like some of them are gift guides that I consult every year for gift ideas. Do you have anything to say about the larger concept of doing a gift guide?
Dana, weirdly, I have so many thoughts about gift guides because I think gift guides are like a pure ambivalence for me, but not in like the middle of the road way, in the way where I both like absolutely love some of them, and like when it's like when New York Magazine does a gift guide, and like when the print issue that's like their New York Magazine gift guide comes, I'm like, the best. Like I'm just gonna look at this and like window shop. Like love, like a good gift guide I love. And yet I simultaneously feel dread and loathe and like deep capitalist fear and anxiety about the incredible preponderance of them, and the way that it maps onto just like the way we interact with the world is just shopping. Like all we're supposed to do all the time is get recommendations to buy stuff. And gift guides, because they're geared towards Christmas and like the holiday season when you need to buy stuff, are like, it's just like masks off. Like everyone's like, here's our 10,000 things. We're all getting affiliate links on it. And I like at once think it's so hard to do well and like kind of gobble them up, and also just find myself like kind of just like sick in the inundation, which has increased year over year. So like I said, I'm really fascinated by them. I'm fascinated by my response to them. I find them to be like deeply ambivalent cultural objects at this point. And then also something I totally just like read for fun, you know?
I mean, it sounds like the holidays themselves, right? It's something that is both like the jolliest time of year and the most alienating time of year. But to me, what sets apart a gift guide, and I agree that New York Magazine knows how to do it right. What sets one apart really is, as in the case of anything you're reading online, the love that's put into it, right? I mean, if you really have a feeling that people are thinking about items that are important to them and people that are dear to them and trying to solve a problem, right? Rather than trying to get those affiliate links.
I think that's right, but it's just like it gets a little hard to tell sometimes, because also it's like the incentives are so much to think and put effort into this thing, and people do a good job of it. But you're like, oh, I don't know what you were thinking and putting your effort in it. It's like it's not infinite, our capacity to create content. And so like by the time I get like my 50th gift guide, even if it's like lovingly crafted, I'm just like, oh boy, you know, like this is just a lot of oh boy effort for like this thing. And then also the other thing about gift guides that I really think is interesting, and I don't know how you guys use them, is that really I think they're just a way to shop for yourself, which isn't bad. But like, you know, you can't, like, I go to gift guides to like get ideas for other people, but I find it's actually not super helpful. Like I'm honestly reading gift guides being like, ooh, yes, me. That like it's just self-shopping for later. Do you know what I mean? Which is sort of like antithetical to like the holiday spirit of it.
I totally agree with that shopping for yourself thing. I mean, speaking as someone, I'm about to recommend 3 cultural products, you know, consumable cultural products. And I find that when I'm looking at gift guides, I'm like, oh, I forgot that box set is out. I need to get that for myself. Because by the time we get to Christmas, I'm probably getting a sweater or something from my family. And realistically, I'm probably buying the stuff on the gift guide for myself. However, I will say, and I share Willa's ambivalence in this regard, I don't necessarily love the plethora of gift guides, but they have saved me. I mean, I remember, gosh, just a couple of years ago, I got perilously close to Christmas in mid-December, and I had a couple of family members, they will remain nameless, who I couldn't figure out what to get them. And I ran across a gift guide and I was like, oh, wait a minute, that's actually a good idea. So it kind of saved my butt.
No, totally. I mean, I use them that way too, but I just also, I mean, it's interesting because I think like the gift guide is not new. Like they were invented as advertisements for like department stores like 100 years ago, but they're clearly because of the incentives of the internet and affiliate links, which I think actually are sort of not even as successful as they used to be. And we'll see what like AI does to affiliate links and all of that. Like there is, it feels like there, and also just like the collapse of gatekeepers, like there's just so many more of them. So like when you see a beautifully curated one, you're like, great. Or someone you love on Substack who has one, like that's great. But there just is now also like, it's just I mean, there's just so many more than there even were like 10 years ago. Like it's like gift guide season. I feel like we're almost about to be in gift guide season.
That said, if you derive joy from reading a gift guide, I mean, there's a bounty for you at this point. You can read them like journalism if that's your game.
No, and to be totally like transparent, like I remember last year, like there started to be like a sort of low simmer on social media and Substacks of like gift guide fatigue, and I was like, not me. Like if it's the right person, I'm still reading this whole thing. So I'm just want to say that I'm implicated. Like I am consuming the content. I just feel ambivalent about it. So gift guides they feel like very contemporary because of the way that everything is so like internet shopping. But the truth is like they're an old form that's the pleasure of which I think is like pretty pure shot for the last 100 years. Like they sort of work the same way and they have through time, even though now we can do it on our phones and computers, like buy stuff. But like the earliest ones start in the early 1900s, and you have like department stores, like one called Can Sons and Co. in Washington, D.C. that like printed an advertisement that's essentially like, it's called a Christmas gift guide, and it like has little pictures and drawings of all the things that you can buy. And that's just like the beginning of what are some of these like extremely effective, basically advertisements as gift, like advertorial content that sort of really does, I think, probably satisfy shoppers and also the people selling stuff. And what's interesting about these sort of old gift guides is like, they kind of are very recognizable. I mean, they're sort of made by a company, a department store, just like expressly to sell stuff. They're like advertorial content, but the way that they like appeal to presumably like the buyer or the reader at that time is like so familiar. Our producer Ben dug up some of these old gift guides, and one comes from the 1910s, a department store called Greenhut-Siegel Cooper. Chris, do you want to tell us about some of the things that you could buy in 1910 in the gift guide?
I have to talk about this robe, which retailed for just $3.95. It's a little bit like that Carol Burnett sketch where she parodies Gone with the Wind and comes down in an entire set of curtains. It looks like this guy is wearing drapes. He looks very luxurious. He looks like a proto version of Hugh Hefner walking around in that.
It's giving
robe.
Like Pope vibes to me almost. Do you know what
Pope,
I mean? Like
yeah.
regalia.
Regal. Yeah. Very regal, very vestments vibe that it's going for. So yeah, I kind of want that robe. I'm not sure when I would have reason to wear it, but I just kind of want to own it. So yeah, that one stuck out to me.
Dana, are there any other of these in these old or gift guides that like stands out to you as covetable or interesting?
Yes, Willa, thank you for asking. From the same catalog from the teens, I found myself fixating on the child's fur set, which is this fake fur. Actually, even though it's the era of real fur, this is a fake fur item for a child. But in order to look more like real fur, this white sort of fur set with a matching muff has 2 ermine heads on the top and 1 ermine head on the muff, plus several tails. So you could make sure that your little girl is walking around looking like a hunter carrying her bounty. And I love this one sentence from the write-up of the child's ermine fur set, which is, make up your mind right now that you are going to make some little lady intensely happy Christmas morning.
Walking around with fresh kill, just like mom.
Yeah, totally.
And best of all, if you're trying to keep your prices low as you shop for your little lady, it's only $1.50, people.
Well, weirdly, there's this other gift guide from 1961 from Esquire that looks very modern. And I was shocked because there is a portable tape player that's $85.50. That seems like a lot of money to me. for 1961 and a tape player.
Well, ironically, this is what happens with technology and equipment, is that you can now get the modern version of that for roughly the same price. It's one of the few things that like inflation messes with somehow, that we can get like the cheap version of something like that, you know, for under $50 probably. So yeah.
Does that look like a good tape recorder?
I mean, for the time, sure, given, you know, the way technology has marched on. This is pre-Walkman, so that was probably the best we could do in the early 60s.
This Esquire one from 1961 is kind of like, it's kind of great. It's sort of both extremely of its time, like very sort of George Lois looking Esquire, very mod, very sort of 1960s, but also really like, I think New York Magazine has done illustrations like this in their beloved gift guides. Like I think it sort of looks very contemporary. And even though it's illustrations, like it's just like, it's the fun of it. It's like you read the tiny fine print on like all the cutesy things. Like there's not to spoil what my whole gift category will be, but there's like this little pill box that looks like an apple. I'm really like a sucker for things that look like other things. And there's like seems, I mean, you can almost feel like you're like, yes, Dana, like where can I go right in? Like get this thing.
Yes,
like,
you always want to write in. I'll write a check and send it to this P.O. box if you'll just send me that little apple pill holder.
Totally.
Thing.
Or like, can I go to the store? Like, can I go to the store around the corner where this is available that doesn't exist anymore and get it? Kind of makes you want to time travel. And I mean, it's interesting. Obviously, like the visuals are such an important part of making you covet stuff in gift guides. And you can see that like they're always illustrated from the beginning. I think it's funny though, we were digging up as we were sort of looking into this topic that there was like book gift guides. Like it feels very like bathroom, like that, the whole era of like bathroom books. Like obviously now everyone just has their phones, but the weird things that they like turned into bathroom books. And
bathroom books are coffee table books, right? Because I mean, some of these were lovely enough objects that actually leave them out in the living room. I mean, I remember
totally, but there is something, there's something funny about thinking that there would be something like the greatest gift guide ever, which was published in 1986, or like finding the perfect gift, the ultimate guide in 1994, where you're like, it's really just, we think of needing them for such a short period of time, and also as really not being evergreen, you know, you're not like, but maybe they are. I don't know. I guess I look through old gift guides sometimes, but it's like a funny idea about the way book publishing used to work when we didn't have the internet, which is like they could flood the zone on things that we now think of as like just extremely ephemeral and like time sensitive.
A week or two ago in the mail, I got the latest restoration hardware catalog in this year, 2025. And it's obvious that they wanted me to either put it on my coffee table or leave it in the bathroom. So I suppose we haven't entirely abandoned this idea.
How fat was it? Those are really fat, right?
It was like Vogue's September issue thick. I'm not exaggerating. So
also,
yeah.
You know what comes in the mail now, which like is fully in line with these older gift guides, is Amazon now so cannily in October basically sends out a gift, like it's a catalog of toys, but like of things they have.
It's kind of like a circular, right?
Yeah, but like it looks sort of like a sort of it almost looks like it's like a pretty hefty catalog. It
oh, really?
Stickers in it, and it's just like for your kids to go circle and sticker and like tell you the things that they want that are available on Amazon. And like it's incredibly, I'm not saying that like my kids love it, I'm not saying that we bought stuff for them out of it, but like it's incredibly effective. Like they're geniuses at reviving this 100-year-old practice.
Are they algorithmically targeting people that they've figured out have children from they buy?
Yeah, but I mean, that's like, they know we have, like, that is the thing they know. I feel like all new parents at this point, like whether or not they've been avoiding Amazon, like the week their child is born, like become Amazon Prime members, like by accident, just because of how much they use it. Like you just start to just be like, you're like there's stuff.
I was going to say, once you start putting diapers on an auto refill with Amazon, they must say, okay, in 3 years, they're going to need the toy catalog.
100%. Of all the things that Amazon knows about me, I feel like determining that I have children was like really low hanging fruit from like my, for just like everything I order from them. Sorry, I know I'm not, I know I shouldn't, but what do you do? What are you going to do?
All right. Well, having established our own relationship to gift guides and the history of gift guides, I want to get into our own picks for this year. But first, let's take a break for one more word from our sponsors.
Whether you know me from my show Decodering or you're hearing me for the first time on this cross-show extravaganza, I really love unraveling cultural mysteries. That's something about me.
And similarly, if you're a fan of my show, the Slate Culture Gabfest, or if you're just hearing me for the first time on this show, you can probably tell that I'm a big fan of analyzing the latest movies.
And because of our interest in movies and culture and mysteries, we're excited to talk to you about today's sponsor, Apple Gift Card.
Right, because Apple Gift Card fuels passions like ours, making it the perfect gift for any culture lover in your life, including yourself.
It can be used for everything pop culture related, from podcast subscriptions to best-selling books, like movies, television, all of it you can buy with an Apple Gift Card.
So this year, skip the last-minute shopping scramble and make the culture fans in your life happy with Apple Gift Card.
Visit applegiftcard.apple.com to learn more and gift one today.
All right, welcome back. And it's time to get into the meat of the subject, our gift choices for this year. Chris, I know you have a theme. I don't know what your gifts are, but can you first describe what ties your three choices together?
I mean, it's a very loose theme, but my theme is basically, and this won't surprise anybody, stuff that has informed Hit Parade episodes, in some cases directly, in some cases indirectly. So I have three items that fit this theme. I would say let me start with the one that fits the theme least, only because it didn't directly inspire an episode, but it's kind of connected to some episodes. So that would be the Revolver box set. So from about, let me think if I got this right, 2017 through I think 2022, Apple Records, the Beatles' still existent, label, was putting out these collections, these 50th anniversary collections, where the classic Beatles albums were remastered by Giles Martin. And if that name means anything to you, that's the son of George Martin, the famed Beatles producer who was in the studio with them in the 60s. And what Giles did was he went back to the original master tapes and basically deconstructed and reconstructed each album, trying to make it sound as most like the original album as possible, so that it wasn't, shockingly new to you, but fresher, better stereo separation, because stereo was still a new technology in the 60s. There have been now, I believe, 5 of these: Sgt. Pepper, The White Album, Abbey Road, Let It Be, and then he went back in time to 1966's Revolver. And I would say my absolute favorite of the 5, I'm not actually holding up, that's the White Album. That one now retails for about $200. So that's a real investment. That's the one to get for somebody who, needs a jumbo gift. This one is closer to $100, but I'm holding this one up because this one, what was the most revelatory to me. I learned things. It's weird to be a music nerd in this day and age and feel like you can still learn something about the Beatles. And I'd even heard some of the outtakes from the Revolver album when they were released on Anthology 2 way back in 1996. But for example, if you didn't know that Yellow Submarine, which is like, one of their most famous kiddie anthems, started off as a bit of a morose John Lennon composition that sounded almost emo and sad. You can literally hear them evolving Yellow Submarine into the fun kiddie Ringo bop that it became in the outtakes of this box set. And there's lots of little revelations like that. In a way, this may have other than the White Album box, which has more outtakes, this may have the most revelatory outtakes. And of course, I've done a couple of Hit Parade episodes about the Beatles, not about Revolver directly, but definitely about, in my Great War Against the Single episode, I talked about how the Beatles kind of shifted music commerce from the single to the album in the 60s. And, Revolver is kind of the pivot point for that, but just before Sgt. Pepper. So for all those reasons, I thought I would share this as my first gift suggestion. One thing I should also describe for those of you who are listening audio only is what a beautiful object this thing is. I'm actually holding up the CD version because I am still a compact disc guy, not a vinyl guy. I know, send in your complaints, please, to Slate. But it looks like a vinyl box. It's still a big square. And, when you slide it open, it's got like one case for the CDs that looks like a record album, and this beautiful book. That's another reason to get these 50th anniversary sets. The books are actually really solid and, well written. Lots of, backstory about, where the Beatles were at in their career at that time. So yeah, it's a coffee table worthy object in addition to being a great listen.
Chris, I have both a bad joke and a question about your description of that album. My bad
Sure.
joke is that because you are stressing how the booklet and the essays and so forth stress the evolution, that it could be called Evolver.
Right.
That's number one.
Boom, boom.
And number two is my question. I always thought Yellow Submarine was a Ringo composition.
It's not a Ringo composition. It's a Ringo vocal. Ringo didn't start writing songs until the White Album when he wrote Don't Pass Me By. And in all the years of the Beatles, not counting a couple of tracks where they gave co-credit to Ringo, the only two Ringo compositions are Don't Pass Me By on the White Album and Octopus's Garden on Abbey Road. Prior to that, John and Paul were frequently writing songs for Ringo to sing, with a little help from my friends on Sgt. Pepper is another one, a Lennon-McCartney composition that was sung by Ringo. Several of the covers, like Buck Owens's Act Naturally, were sung by Ringo, but obviously not written by Ringo. So yeah.
Oh, I always thought whatever Beatle was singing a song was the Beatle that was key to write it.
Not always. There are even songs very early in their career that are sung by George, but written by Lennon-McCartney. Do You Want to Know a Secret is a song on the first album, Please Please Me, sung by George Harrison, but written by, I think that was primarily, I want to say a Lennon composition, but it's Lennon-McCartney in any case.
That was like a little hit parade.
Little sidebar.
Great. All right. That was like a little hit parade. And now I want me a box set. If nothing else, I love that they preserved the format of the original cover art. All right. The theme to my gifts is going to be movie night over the holidays. I didn't even mean for this to be a theme at first or to have a theme, but then our producer noticed that everything I was choosing would be the perfect prop to have for a cozy movie night. So that's my theme. So starting with a gift that is well under $100, this is a really inexpensive gift that I think I'm going to use a lot, is the Salbree popcorn popping bowl. Do you guys know about this whole style of thing? Like, look at this bowl. It's made of silicone. It's like a squishy silicone bowl that you put directly in your microwave. Has this little lid that pops on top. And you don't put in any oil. You just and it's not special popcorn or anything. You just fill your popcorn to the line, put it in the microwave for 2 minutes, and you have this perfect popcorn. And there's nothing to clean afterwards because you didn't put any oil in it. You can put butter on the popcorn or whatever, but you basically just have a dry bowl at the end. So it's super, super handy.
That's actually so helpful. I make popcorn sometimes because I'm a Rancho Gordo Bean Club member, and they regularly, like every year, send like a thing of popcorn. And like, it's actually hard to eat. Like popcorn, it gets so much bigger, like each seed. So it's like really hard to go through a package of popcorn. So every so often I'm like, I have like 3 packages of popcorn and I'm trying to make them, but that is like much easier, that, as you say, than like doing it on the stovetop with like we have to sort of pay attention, and it always like is about to burn, and then like it makes your house smell like oil, and yeah.
It lowers the bar to having popcorn to the point where it just seems like a normal movie accompaniment. So then there's actually 2 halves to this first gift. This is going to count as one gift because that bowl is so cheap. Like, it's really a crazy good deal. But then I also got some very fancy quality popcorn from, I don't know if you can read the label, but it's Amish country popcorn. I've been trying to research their website to see if the people who grow and package this popcorn actually drive around in a horse and buggy, and I have not been able to confirm that.
Too good to fact check. I hope that it's the case.
It's being delivered in a horse and buggy to whatever store you're buying it from. But I remember people talking in the past about, people who are real popcorn heads about Amish country popcorn. So I got a sampler, and one thing about it that's fun is they're different colors. So it's blue popcorn, purple popcorn, and then one of them is a normal white, yellowish kind of kernel. They all pop white because that's the inside of the corn kernel, but it's kind of fun to pour bright purple kernels into a bowl and pop them. And it's really good popcorn. Now, what makes really good popcorn? I had to think about this last night when I was thinking about recommending this popcorn. For me, I don't love movie popcorn. I feel like it's too big and the holes get stuck in your teeth, and they're sort of it's too chewy. Maybe it's just that it's been sitting in the popper for too long.
That's the main problem, right? It's been sitting around.
It's just old.
Pre-popped.
But I'm not really into getting popcorn at the movies. Like, I'll only get it if I really need a snack badly. But this stuff is super delicious. The hulls are soft. So you can sort of chew them without them cutting the inside of your mouth. And it's just really tender, chewy, delicious. The purple, anyway, which is the only one I've tried so far. Delicious popcorn. All it needs is a little butter and salt, and you're ready to go.
I would eat some popcorn right now.
Seriously.
I'm totally...
Salbree bowl, man, you've got to try it.
I am totally getting that one. And I kind of hope my girlfriend is not watching this gift guide right now, because she pops popcorn on the regular when we're watching movies together, and she does it in a pot. And the idea that we could lower the bar on how much mess we make on popcorn, that's really very tempting. So
yeah, no, it's kind of a romantic gift in a way. Like, give somebody a movie and some popcorn and a popcorn popper, and you're saying, like, I want to settle down with a bowl of popcorn and a movie, and you.
Okay, so as I said, I'm ambivalent about gift guides, and so I actually found I just feel like I'm like, I don't know, everyone has so much stuff, but I worked it through, guys. I worked it through, and I was like thinking about things that I actually like. And do you ever notice like you have a tendency and then you recognize it and you're like, this is ridiculous, I have to like check this? So one of those is like, for a while I was like, oh, I like kind of love like animal inflected like hooks, like think like I have a flamingo like paper towel holder and like elephant hooks, and I was like, oh, this is so cutesy, like what am I doing? This is whatever. I gotta stop doing that, or I gotta pay attention next time I want to get like a goat paper mache head, which and then I was like, oh, another thing that I like is like I really love it when things look like other things, like for example like the flamingo paper towel holder. Like I really get a kick out of that sort of like trumpet oil like sort of playfulness, and I have to watch it, but I was like, I will just dig into it this time. So these are a series of bowls. They're just bowls. They're cereal bowls. They look like melt cantaloupe. Ooh, some water just fell out because I just tried to take them out of the dishwasher. But so there's this Portuguese company called Bordalo Pinheiro. It's like very old. They make sort of cabbageware. They make basically like all this gorgeous ceramics, and they look like dragon fruit. They look like lettuce. Like they're really beautiful and gorgeous. These ones, which have like cantaloupe bowl, like rind on the outside, orange on the inside, are actually from Etsy, like another maker of them. But everyone is knocking off Bordello Pinheiro, who make like truly actually gorgeous stuff. In fact, also additionally, I have tried to knock them off because I take pottery, and I was like, I'm going to try to make a watermelon bowl. Which I like, if you look closely, like I definitely, look, you can see I messed it up. Like you see, like I was wet, but thank you. I've like tried to do it myself, and I like I made a little one because I was like trying to learn. But I really like these things. They're really very beautiful and gorgeous, and they make a ton of different fruit. And if that kind of thing tickles you, like, please. Also, all the stuff, because the company's been around for a long time, like you can find a lot of it used. You can find it on vintage sites. Like it's a good rabbit hole.
Is the outside textured like the way cantaloupe rind would be?
Yes, it is. It is totally textured. Like it is. Yeah. I mean, it's not exactly, but yeah, it's like that. Yeah,
that's so pleasing. And if you serve the cantaloupe in it, then it's it's a whole.
Then I don't know what happens.
Wheels within wheels.
It's like a black hole. It's like a space-time continuum opens, and you're like,
you go back in time.
Yeah, exactly. Totally. But that's like my kid. It's a regular cereal bowl in my house.
All right. Well, this gift suggestion will probably surprise no one, because I've actually referred to this in two Hit Parade episodes in the last 12 months. But I am recommending the Mad Men Blu-ray gift set, which came out about a decade ago when Mad Men completed its run in 2015. I've been on a Mad Men kick in the last year. Last December's episode of Hit Parade was about the history of hits created by advertising, and I referenced Mad Men in that episode. And then I went deeper in our March 2025 episode, which was about the 60s and how the 60s was actually lived. And one of the things I said about why I love Mad Men so much, why it's kind of my favorite peak TV show of the last quarter century, is it captured popular culture of the 60s as it was actually lived. So you're not going to see all of the cliched protest music. There's no Fortunate Son by Creedence Clearwater Revival. There's no All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix. Great as those songs are, they play a lot of the actual pop schlock that was, actually topping the charts in the 60s, like Love is Blue by Paul Marriott or Harper Valley PTA by Jeannie C. Riley. Anyway, that's my music angle on Mad Men. It's also just a great show. And this Blu-ray set is kind of amazing because there's like often 2 commentaries per episode, at least one. And, sometimes with the actors, sometimes with Matthew Weiner. And There are mini docs about 60s culture, advertising culture, social unrest in the 60s. You will spend so much time enjoying this set. I did a full rewatch of the show. And by the way, I went looking for it when I started researching the previous episode of Hit Parade, and it's not, at least for now, universally on streaming. I think you may have to buy each episode. So this is actually a worthwhile purchase if you like the show and want to do a rewatch, because you've got all the discs at your disposal. So that's why I've been immersed in Mad Men. It was actually a Christmas gift given to me last December that I asked for because I was immersing myself in research for the show.
You could make popcorn to watch Mad Men. It doesn't have to be a movie. You could,
exactly,
for your nightly Mad Men viewing. It'll take you like 6 months to get through it.
It
popcorn
took
every night.
Not quite 6 months, but it did take a period of months for me to rewatch the whole show. And it was so pleasurable.
There's nothing like a box set. I mean, even if there's a way that you can find the same episode streaming, the presence of it on your shelf, right? The DVD extras that it offers, the booklet, just if you really love a show or a movie, I always feel like it's a kind of augmentation of your love for it to have the physical presence of a box set on your shelf.
I totally agree.
Dana, what's your next thing?
Smash cut to me wrapped in a big cozy holiday colored blanket. So this is the next part of my holiday evening in with a loved one watching movies with popcorn, is that of course you need a cozy blanket. And this is a big knitted, I don't know if you can see that it's got like a broad knit so you can stick your fingers through it. It's a big chenille blanket from a company called Lagati. Very inexpensive for how nice it is. It doesn't have that yucky texture that an inexpensive blanket can have. It's all cotton, super cozy, very warm. So you do have to wait for a winter night to be wrapped in it. But this is kind of throw size, so it's not so much a blanket for your bed as something you would just keep on your couch to throw over yourself as you're munching your popcorn.
Is there anything better than a cozy blanket? I know that's like, I feel like I have like all these blankets in my house that are like not cozy that I've like inherited somehow, and they're wool. And I'm like, this would be such an easy way to make my life cozier and nicer. I should just get over this. And this is a good incentive to do that. Like,
yeah, really, you need all weights of blanket, right? Like you've got this sort of summer cottony light knit throw, but then you have to have things like this once in a while. That this is sort of the texture of like like those big mushy socks that teenage girls wear in their dorm room, and
they're almost like a slipper, but it's like also a sock.
Yeah, that makes your foot really big and puffy. That's sort of what this is. So yeah, you're like a Muppet when you're wrapped in this thing.
Also, this is probably going to reveal a little of my OCD, but the holes in that blanket are a feature, not a bug to me. Like playing around with those holes in the knit, that would be very pleasurable. It's like popping bubble wrap for me.
Okay, well, a gift number 2. What have you got?
Okay, so this is, again, things that look like other things. I don't know if you guys have noticed this explosion in this category, which is candles that look like other things. So I'm not a candle person. I really hate things that have smells. My dad he hated it, and it's sort of given it to me, and I don't like perfumey smells. So I've like sort of avoided candles, which like that's what they're for. But I'm very into this just like visually aesthetic candle. Like there's lots of really cool like colorful striped candles. Like Hay makes this like really cool giant like sculptural colorful candle. But I also am super into candles that look like food. Like there's croissant candles and like tomato candles and potato candles, and they're like, they really just look like the thing, but they're also a candle because like wax is very malleable. So
Willa, it's occurring to me that your whole gift selection is like, Is It Cake, the TV show.
I kind of can't stand that show, although my kids like it, but also like, yes, 100%. I'm like, I kind of want everything. I basically apparently love it. I want everything to not be cake, or to be cake, but be something that it's not. So
and not to be plugging, but I mean, Is It Cake is kind of a cultural mystery. So, it really ties into
it's all my interest one. So this is like a very nicely, I can smell it though, orangey, but it doesn't smell bad. Orange candle. These are from Amazon.com. They are like stocking stuffer priced, I think. Honestly, I'm Jewish. I don't know about stocking stuffers, but I think that's correct. I mean, I'm kidding. I'm American. I know about stocking stuffers. All right. So these are like, they're very nice little look. It's a candle. It's just like a little
That's
orange.
Lovely.
This is just like it really looks like an orange, but it's a candle. Something about that really delights me. And I also, there's lots. This is like also a rabbit hole. Like I think if you were like, I need rutabaga candles, like you could find them at this point. Like And you could probably find some really high-end ones. Like it's all out there. Asparagus, pomegranates, you name it.
My hang up with that candle is that it's so beautiful. I'd be afraid to light it.
Well, it came in a pack of 4. So,
Good.
like, yeah, totally. I do have a bunch of candles, actually, now that you mention it, that just like, I will never use it. They're sort of like for display. Like they're just sitting on a mantle.
Exactly.
Like, that's never going to be used. It's too
It's a little bit like the soap you put in the bathroom that's too nice to actually use.
Yes. Or like when I was a kid and, Bed Bath & Beyond, it wasn't Bed Bath & Beyond, it was the Body Shop. Like they would give these little like, make these little packages and you'd get them for like birthday presents. And I would just keep like for 20 years until I literally like fell apart because it's soap. I had like the little bears and the lambs because I just couldn't bear to actually like deface them by using them. So then I had to throw them in the garbage 20 years later when they had fallen apart, So anyway, maybe that probably would happen to your candle too. You should just use your candle.
Yeah, my argument was going to be maybe lighting the candle and seeing it melt is a little bit like the moment on Is It Cake where they slice into the object and it turns out to be cake. There's something about destroying the perfect facsimile of the orange is satisfying too.
Also, to be honest, when they start to melt is almost actually cool because then they're sort of in this middle, like they aren't cake, but they sort of like, it's like a melting orange. Like when have you seen a melt, like it has like a sort of art element when you start to destroy them. Well,
and there's a perfect moment when you burn a candle where it's kind of in that in-between state and it's just gone down maybe, I don't know, a quarter to a third of the way. So it gives candle and yet you haven't completely melted it all down. That's the perfect moment for a candle for me anyway.
Okay, Chris, what's your last gift?
My final pick, I seem to be going all content here, which I suppose is appropriate for me. I wanted to recommend a book that, I actually plumb the depths of various books for Hit Parade episodes. I've read so many artist memoirs, but one of the episodes that I know a lot of my listeners love that is only a little over a year old was the episode I did about the hits of 1984. This was my September 2024 episode of Hit Parade. And for that episode, I heavily consulted my friend Michelangelo Matos's book, Can't Slow Down, How 1984 Became Pop's Blockbuster Year. This is not just a book that I used for research, but a book that I found incredibly pleasurable just to read. In each chapter, Matos kind of digs into an angle on 1984, a story about 1984, whether it's the 1984 Olympics and what the pop culture connections are to that, or the Supreme Court case about Betamax that led to, whether or not we can make copies of things. And it had all these implications for, fair use, to Michael Jackson, obviously dominating the Grammys in 1984. The stories and the deep research are why this book is great. So I can't recommend it enough. It's kind of one of those keep it next to the bed. And when you need just one really well-written chapter, before you drop off at night, it's very pleasurable if you like a good cultural history. So that's why I recommend Can't Slow Down, which, by the way, for those who haven't picked up on this, is named after the Lionel Richie album Can't Slow Down that won the Grammy for Album of the Year in early 1985. So, it's got that going for it.
All right. Well, I'm joining the content train, Chris, along with you for my last gift, because of course you can't have movie night with popcorn and a popcorn popper and a big old blanket without some movies. So my last gift is a box set. Let me try to display it so that you can see the fun design of the box. It's like a little suitcase, a Criterion box set called The Adventures of Antoine Doinel. Does that ring a bell with either of you? Who is Antoine Doinel?
The 400 blows, right?
40 blows, 400 blows. Yeah. So sorry.
I hope I have the number right.
It rang a bell for the wrong title of the movie, but I was there. Truffaut, right? That's
yes, the Truffaut movie, The 400 Blows from 1959. Like, if you know a Francois Truffaut movie, it's probably that one. You would see it in any, I don't know, retrospective of the French New Wave. This 1959 movie about an adolescent boy who's played by a 14-year-old named Jean-Pierre Léaud, who was sort of a discovery, a non-actor, just a kid that Francois Truffaut found and befriended and wound up becoming almost like a father figure in this kid's life because he was kind of a troubled kid. And he went on to make 4 different movies about Antoine Doinel, the character that Léaud plays at age 14. And then later, I'm not going to know the exact ages, but, in his early 20s, in his late 20s, in his mid-30s for 20 years, sort of in the style of Richard Linklater in Boyhood or in the Before Sunset, etc. movies.
Or the Up series by Michael Apted, right? I mean, the way that follows the same set of people over and over
Not
again.
unlike that in the documentary format. But yeah, Truffaut undertook one of those kind of life projects, like I am going to grow up and grow old along with this actor and continue to document this character's life. And they're all wonderful movies and all in different ways. I mean, the ones where he falls in love, there's two that involve love and marriage are kind of rom-coms. Then there's basically a divorce drama as he's in his mid-30s. And Jean-Pierre Léaud is just such a unique actor. Like once you've sort of fallen in love with him as a boy, you're so interested in the quirky, eccentric adult that he becomes. All right, so what are the extras on this box set? I'm going to have to read a few of them off the bat because I just unboxed this morning and I haven't watched any of them yet. But Criterion always does up their extras really well. So this is not only 4 Blu-rays with those 4 movies on them, and also an early short by Truffaut that's called Les Mistons, that's about the lives of children, sort of something that he was clearly thinking about before he started this whole series. But you've got 2 separate audio commentaries, the tracks that go along with the movie, one by a Truffaut scholar, one by a close friend, a French guy who I've never heard of, who's a real life friend of Truffaut. So I assume he'll have like behind the scenes kind of stories. There's no fewer than 5 critical essays. There's an interview that Truffaut's daughter did with him, which seems interesting. There's a couple of video essays by film historians. One of the essays, the critical essays, is by Noah Baumbach, who, if you think about it, clearly is very influenced by Truffaut, right? So that will be interesting to hear. Anyway, there's clearly hours, even if you set the movies aside, there's hours and hours of good watching to be done on this box set. The Adventures of Antoine Doinel.
You had me at Criterion because, I have so many Criterion discs on my shelf and I don't have that set, but that looks amazing. They just, they make the movie look great and they go deeper than anybody on the extras. So that's a great pick.
Yeah, something you always know about Criterion, and I know this also from having written essays or done video interviews for their extras, is that they're never just repackaging something to kind of do a cash grab, right? They're going to always put some real value into whatever their new packaging of something is. So whenever they come out with the box set, even if I don't necessarily want the movies, I'll go through there and look at what the extras are and see if those are worth getting.
Despite boffing the title earlier, like I love the 400 blows and I love the thing where you get to watch actors age. Like they do it by accident in certain things, like the Harry Potter series is weirdly like you're watching them get older and that's like compelling about it, but it just is. And like Richard Linklater's working on that Merrily We Roll Along, it's like happening in real time,
right?
But it can be deployed so powerfully as it is in the Up series. Like it's just so crazy to have seen these kids as little and then you see them as lost 50-year-olds. It's just very emotional, and it's cool to watch that actor, like even as the character, like both things are happening. Like his physical form is really getting older, and the character. I think it's very something about it. It's not just satisfying. It's always like it's very emotional to watch someone
absolutely
age.
And in part also because it's a great act of trust between the person who is aging on camera and the guy behind the camera or woman behind the camera filming them, right? I mean, you're sort of making this pact, like we are going to move through time together and we don't know where we're going. I don't know if you're going to continue to be someone who wants to make these movies. It's almost like a kind of bond of friendship or love between the two.
Totally. And sometimes it doesn't always work out because of whatever is happening behind the scenes, which actually weirdly Truffaut writes lots of movies about what's happening behind the scenes. So it's sort of like, it's interesting. I mean, it's cool.
That box set looks so thorough. About the only thing that could make it more thorough would be if they included the entirety of Close Encounters of the Third Kind by Steven Spielberg. So you could watch Truffaut acting on top of it all. But, that's I think, a separate gift
A separate
purchase.
box set.
A separate box set.
Should I end this with the silliest of all the gifts by far?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Now, wait, so sillier than Cantaloupe Bowl, sillier than...
Oh, guys, it's silly.
Candles.
But actually, I love it the most. So this is like a very absurd thing that also looks like a fruit that is so silly and like off color. But honestly, like it's in my house and it weirdly like does spark joy like when I think about it. Okay.
I am bracing myself right now.
It is a cherry-shaped toilet cleaner. And you guys think that you don't care that your toilet bowl cleaners are ugly and like you have to hide them and they're like in a closet or they're in some corner. You don't think you care. It's fine. You do. It's so nice. to have something that you're like, that just looks like a cherry. That's cool. That's like a weird piece of pop art in my bathroom. It has a function. We don't have to talk about it. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, like, I bought it on a whim and I was like, this is so ridiculous. And then now, like, it's in our guest bathroom. It's like in the bathroom that we like, that everyone uses when they come to our house. And I'm like, that's great. That thing is great. Like, it is disguise away. Be a cherry.
Well, I'm picturing you in like a 50s style apron printed with cherries, smiling merrily as you clean your toilet with a big cherry.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm not.
And birds are fluttering onto Willa's fingers.
It's like enchanted. It's like enchanted. It's like, you know, in that scene where she like cleans him with the cockroaches, or like Amy Adams.
She's
like,
whistling while she works.
Yeah, totally. I'm like, I kid not. Like, it's just, if you have one of those anywhere in a bathroom, like if you have a toilet bowl cleaner somewhere that people can see, it's so nice for it not to look like they look like shit, you know?
That's kind of a solid argument because, yeah, my toilet bowl cleaner is just sitting in the bathroom kind of there. So why not make it prettier?
Honestly, I'm telling you, sparks joy.
I'm imagining walking into Willa's house right now and it's just this solid, you know, wall after wall of items that seem to be other items. She pulls a book off the shelf and opens it, and then, a houseplant springs out.
It's a vase. Yeah, like it's like a vault. Yeah, 100%. I mean, all those things really delight me. But I have, as I said, I've noticed that I like them. So now I like don't let myself get them unless they're like very good.
Also, people give them for you as a collectible if you kind of announce, and then next thing
I have actually never announced it, so they haven't. But maybe now it will be like it's only things I pick up for myself. You know.
Oh, you've put that out in the world. Now everybody's going to get you those items.
I think it's like slightly more whimsical than people think I am. Does that make sense? Like, I think people find me difficult to get gifts for.
You did an episode of Dakota Ring that was about truck nuts. How do they not know that you have a whimsical sense of humor?
You think truck nuts are whimsical?
Well, maybe aggressively whimsical.
Maybe they're a thing that looks like another thing. I don't know. Yeah. No. So I think like I do have like a sort of. It's maybe
you have a puckish sense of humor, if
or
nothing
something.
Else.
Who knows what I have? But yes, maybe now it's open the floodgates, and I'll have to like start collecting things that look like other things, which would actually be super fun. I would be delighted to get that stuff.
Since this is a holiday themed conversation, I'm wondering about a holiday item. You always see this around the holidays. Do you like those marzipan fruits that are trompe l'oeil and they look exactly like?
Yes, I do. The problem is that marzipan. Do you know there's those foods that you're like, this is delicious. If I have more than one bite, I'm going to vomit. Like where you're like, this is delicious for 1 second, and that's how I feel about marzipan. So like, and also we have a very old like an auntie of mine, like a family friend who is New Yorker, like Italian New Yorker, and she's obsessed with those, and she like barely lets you eat them. Like they're for display.
I was gonna say they're like the candles, right? You don't actually want to consume it.
Yes, exactly. So I do sort of. It's also like it's almost like dollhouse furniture, like miniature things are sort of pleasing that way, which the marzipan is too. It's small. Yeah, totally. You're right on, Dana. Like all in that wheelhouse.
I think I've never taken an actual bite of one of those, but yeah, whenever they're on a display, it is like dollhouse furniture. You have to stop and look at the tiny, cleverly crafted little fruits.
Yeah, and so people are, and like some are like, you're like, this one's really good. They're made by like a master marzipan craftsman, and they're like, this one's less good, you know. But that's fun.
And it's too beautiful to eat.
All right. Well, we certainly found lots to say, and I'm really inspired by you guys' gifts. Actually, I'm coveting quite a few of those things. Yeah, my toilet cleaner may just be merrier than I ever thought this holiday season.
I thought we were just giving gift ideas amongst ourselves. I'm actually like getting shopping ideas from this thing. So yeah.
No, I also am like now I have lots of things to watch and listen to. Which I find I need. I actually find it so overwhelming how much there are of both of those things that I like need trusted people to tell me, like, pay attention to this one, which you guys are trusted people, so that's great.
Well, if those of you listening and watching want to take a look at any of these things, there's going to be links at slate.com/culture gift guide to all of our gifts. That's slate.com/culture gift guide. All right. Well, thanks to both of you for joining. This was a fun conversation.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you, and happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays, everyone. Happy shopping, I guess.
The Slate Culture Gift Guide is produced for Slate Studios by Benjamin Frisch and Micah Phillips, with Meryl Bezrutzik and Andrew Harding. To learn more about our gifts, check us out at slate.com/culture gift guide. Thanks, and we'll see you again next time.